Okay, one of the issues that students have difficulty with in Chapter 1, and it's really important that you have read Chapter 1 before watching this video for what I'm about to say to really make sense to you. So if you have not read Chapter 1, please go back and read it. Now, assuming you have read Chapter 1, the big issue that students have in identifying in the homework is the who aspect. I'm sorry, not the who, the what. So we talk about the what, we're really talking about your variables. And we have lots of variables, and we can break our variables into two major categories, quantitative and categorical. So a quantitative variable are numbers that represent measurable quantities. They can be continuous, like height or weight, or discrete, such as the number of items, number of cats that you own. You can't have 3.5 cats. You can have 3 cats, or you can have 4 cats. So some examples: age, income, temperature, and obviously how many cats you own is also a quantitative variable. Now, categorical variables uh, represent a distinct category or group. They are often non-numeric and can be nominal, which is categories with no inherent order, or ordinal categories with meaningful order. So some examples: gender is nominal, there's no order to gender. Education level, now that does have order, and hair color has no order at all, so that's a nominal. So again, is this a quantitative variable or a categorical variable? Now, let's talk a little bit more specifically about categorical variables. And there are two major types of categorical variables, and those are identifier and ordinal. So let's talk about the difference here. An identifier variable are used to assign a unique value or code to each individual case or item in a data set. They serve the primary purpose of distinguishing one case from another. These values are typically nominal or categorical, as they don't imply any inherent order or ranking amongst the values. Examples include social security number. Everyone has one, but the number doesn't tell me anything about you. It just tells me who you are. It's an identifier. Customer ID, business ID, all again, they just tell me who you are, but they don't really give me any information. I can't tell if your customer ID is 725, what that would be from different from customer 732. There's no meaning in the number, it's just an identifier. Same with license plates. And a double slide there. The other type is ordinal variables. Now, ordinal variables are categorical variables, normally, that represent a specific order or ranking. Again, while they are typically categorical, it's important to note that in some cases, ordinal variables can also exhibit quantitative characteristics. So it kind of becomes a hybrid of the two in special cases. Ordinal variables have a meaningful hierarchy or sequence among their category, even if the intervals between them are not precisely equal. So, examples: your amount of education you have. A high school diploma is considered one level, a bachelor's degree is another, a master's degree, and again, but those don't represent equal amounts of increase in education. However, an order is definitely there. Now, what gets interesting is stuff like survey response. So we actually have a lot more order here between strongly disagree, disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. These demonstrate an ordinal structure where one response is considered more positive or negative than another. Now, if I was to take those levels of agreeing and replace them with numerical values such as 1 through 5, all of a sudden this becomes partially quantitative. So, in other words, I can take the averages of people's, if you go to ratemyprofessor.com and look up your professors there, you'll see that their give a rating, which could be a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4, or 5, and that has a quantitative quantity to it. So it has a characteristics of being just a value, but a 5 to you might be a 4 to someone else because it's very much depending on the individual. So there's no true measurement. It's not like I take out and I say 1 pound of chicken is 1 pound of chicken. Two individuals may experience the same exact situation, and one considered a 2 and another considered a 3. So we have to be very careful in this situation that while they have partially quantitative, they are not truly and absolutely quantitative. So we have to be a little bit limited in how we use them. So in summary, identifier variables are about assigning unique identifier to cases without any inherent order, while ordinary variables categorize data with meaningful hierarchy or ranking amongst their values. Additionally, in some cases, an ordinal variable can exhibit quantitative characteristics when numerical codes are assigned to represent the order or degree of that characteristic. I hope this helps you identify that. What in your homework questions?